Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the channel. I am Nate, and this is Peach Domino Papercraft. So, today we are still working in our Gothic journal, Gothic Purple journal, and we are working with, again, the Lottie's Magic Attic Pebblemore kit. These are some of the pages that I've cut apart, and today I'm going to make a waterfall. Yay! So waterfalls can be easy. They can be more difficult, but they can be easy. All it is some papers that you put on a page, and I have these handy dandy tabs that I made. And you put them on a page, and they flip one way or the other. And you can do it where you have to manually flip them, like that. Or you can do them where you have a pull tab, and they... That's a technical term. Right? Where there's a pull tab and they kind of flip themselves. So I'm going to show you both ways to do this. Well, no. Maybe. I'm going to show you the pull tab way, and if we have time, I'll show you the other way. So the pull tab way takes a few extra things. First, I have some cards cut. Okay, and these are the cards I'm going to use. I'll have to do some decorating and get them, pretty up. But what I'm planning on doing is having just a couple of cards, and I have 6 of each design here. I'm not going to use this one because it's got this water spot. I'll use it for something else. But I'm just planning on having a few. Well, they'll go like this, won't they? Maybe 4, maybe 5. I don't know. We'll see. And then you'll have the pull tab at the bottom to pull them out. So, one thing we're going to need is a belly band to go across this page. And I'm not going to use anything. You can use something that blends in. I'm not going to do that. And it doesn't have to be super thick, but it needs to have some, if it's too thin, it'll just curl up when you get to the wrong part. And you don't want that. So I'm just going to use this, which is another paper from her pack. And I cut it to 1 inch wide. Okay? And then we're just going to take it when we're ready, and we're going to put it on the page, right? And wrap it around, cut it down and wrap it around. Alright? Now, give me just 1 second. Let me look at something. Sorry about that. Had to consult my little tutorial. Okay, so what we're going to do is you need your belly band, and then you're going to need a slider mechanism, which all of these are going to attach to. And basically, it's just a strip of paper that you're going to fold. Okay? And once you're got it in, it'll sit on your page like this. And then you pull the tab and it slowly rotates the cards. So let me show you. I'm going to use this because you're not going to see most of it. And this is what I want to show on the bottom. So I'm going to cut a piece. We've got our cards. And our cards are... Now this is all from mostly my brain, but also I have this little tutorial up on my YouTube, on my desktop. It's not my tutorial. I'll link it in the description. It's from Carolyn's Musings. I know how to make these. I've only made 1 or 2, so I have to keep a tutorial handy until I'm more comfortable with it. But I didn't measure everything out beforehand or anything like that. We're doing that all on screen today. Our cards are 3 inches wide. And we don't want our slider to be 3 inches wide because we don't want it to show over the edges. So what we're going to do is we're going to take, and it doesn't matter what side, because what you're going to see when I'm done is this part. Well, here, we'll do it this way because you want it to be pretty long. So I'm going to go 2 3/4 inches wide and just cut that. And since this is the side we want to see, then that means any scoring we do is going to be on this side, which happens to be a page from the kit, that I used for the cards. But I just printed that other on the back, and then we'll score on this side because that's the way we'll fold it. Hang on, I'm thinking because I may have got it backwards. We'll score on this side. Yeah, because that's what the side we want our folder, our pull to be. So, in order to get this to line up correctly, when we're ready for it, I know I'm bouncing back and forth. I am so sorry, y'all. We're going to take this and line it up at the bottom of the page. Okay? And that way, we can just take our scoring tool, some scissors, a mechanical pencil, whatever. Actually, I'll tell you what, I'm going to take a mechanical pencil and use it. Make sure it's closed and there's no lead. And just follow along that line. And along that line. Okay. And then you're going to fold them in on both sides. But that way, you'll be able to get it lined up perfectly and it won't be crooked. And you don't need it to be this long on the back. So just cut that down to a reasonable amount. We're going to glue that part down. So just whatever you think is a good amount to be able to glue. And then we line it back up. Fold it back up like we had it. Okay. Turn it over. And put it up the page. Well, I'm not going to be able to do it that way. You got your folds. You know where they go. You can make them straight. Doesn't have to be too high, doesn't have to be too low. We'll set it where we want it later. Okay. Now we've got our folder mechanism. Okay. And we're going to have it look like this. Yeah. Okay. We want our slider pull tab to be roughly there. Okay. And we can shape that however we want. Now figure out where you want the positioning of the bottom, of the top of the bottom card to be. So this is our bottom card, say. So the top of it's going to be here. Right? Hang on. This has got me thinking. Okay. Pull up the scoreboard. We're going to do it this way. Yeah, laugh at me all you want to. I don't care. I'm laughing at me too, so, yeah, whatever. Now, I only want to do 1/4 per score. 1/4 inch per score, but I need enough to glue down. So I'm going to do 3/4, which gives me a 1/2 inch. What's my score? I'm going to do 3/4. And then I'm going to score every quarter of an inch for however many cards. Yeah. For however many cards we end up putting on. And I'm going to check it often because I am doing this for my head, through my head, around my head. We can always cut some off if we want. But that's a lot of cards. Let's do it at 1/2 inch. So we're going to turn it around. Yep, don't ask. We're going to score 3/4, and then we're going to go 1/2 inch at a time. Okay, so 1 1 1/4, 1 3/4, 2 1/4, 2 3/4, 3, 5. That's 5. That feels like a lot already. Let me see where we are at. Yeah, I can keep going. Let's do 7 then. I don't know, 6 or 7. Okay, we're at, oh, scoot over. 2 3/4, 3 1/4, and 3 3/4. And we're going to stop there. That's as far as we're going to go. And then we're going to start at that last one and fold. And go here and fold. All the way up. Fold, 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 and fold. Okay. Man, I hope this turns out. I didn't watch through the full tutorial. I don't want anybody to be mad at her if this doesn't turn out, because it's all on me. So we got that. We're going to take this and that. We're going to scoot this up. We're going to measure where this one goes. I want that top one to go there. Okay. Ish, right? Yeah, that'll work. I'll have to... Okay. Okay. If you're following along at home, which you totally should not be, I'm really bad at this. That first score wasn't necessary at all. So you need to start your score at 1 1/4, just like the tutorial told me to, and I didn't. So we're starting our score at 1 1/4. So forget this score. We're not using it. We'll glue it down. We will. Certainly, certainly. So we figure out where we want this, which is right here. And then we line up our paper so that it's straight across, right? And so that it's straight across the bottom there, like that, like so. Okay. And then that's where, after you flip it over, I know I'm horrible at this today. I'm so sorry. I've been putting it off because I just don't have it in me today. This week, I just do not have it in me. But that's okay. We're doing it. I've got some relatives coming into town this week, and it's been a little stressful. Okay, we're going to glue down our belly band. That wouldn't happen if it had glued down, but we want to glue down the belly band first. And then get this lined up. Only to prove that I didn't line my belly band up and it's not going to glue properly. You know what? It's in there. So, what we're going to do is we're going to put some glue on here. Don't glue the edges. Stay towards the center. Doesn't have to be a whole lot, just enough to hold it down. You're going to move it again once or twice if you're me. Line it up. Press it down. And look, our line. It's glued down. Okay. So you've got your pieces. You've got your pull tab. You see how those folds just fold right in? That's how your cards are going to go. That's how they're going to flip up. Okay? Now, I'm going to stop and decorate the cards at this point, and I suggest you do too. And remember, you've only got a half an inch in between. So if you want something like words on the bottom of each one, you've only got a half an inch to put them in. Okay? So I've got my cards, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces for them. Okay? So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Uh-oh. 5. I cut that one. And 6. 6 cards. Okay, get these ones out of the way. We're not using those. We'll take our scissors and clean this one up. We've been trying to get some things fixed around the house. Got the plumber to come out and cut the tree out of the pipe. That was wonderful. But it's done now. And we got one of the best plumbers, I swear. If you're in this area and you need a plumber recommendation, let me know. I got you. We got to get the roof fixed, but that's not going to happen right now. That's going to take a little time, and that's okay. So, for embellishments, I've got out my dog, apparently, this spooky tree that was sent to me by Miss Tracy herself from Lottie's Magic Attic. And I've been waiting to use that tree somewhere. I think one of these is going to be a good spot for it. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, it stands out well. I think the other side's glittery. Nope. It's just a trick of the texture on the paper. We've got some tickets. Our handy dandy stack of tickets. We have some labels. I just had an idea, but we have these circles. We have these fussy cuts. And I have my Cabinet of Curiosity stickers. Pre-picked. So, let's start with the stickers. Now, I've got these beautiful purple flowers right here that I really like and I'm going to use. One day when I empty this book, I'll have these beautiful purple flower pages. And of course the end papers. Aren't those gorgeous? So I'm going to use this. And I'm going to get my ink out. We're using Wilted Violet for these. I don't know what kind of flower that is. I'm not a flower guru. Someone will tell me, I'm sure. Okay, we get our ink out. We'll just throw some over the top. Give it a hue. And I'm just going to cover the whole sticker in it. Doesn't have to be deep or anything. Just give it a hue. Hue, 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 hue. I don't even know where that joke came from. I just know it's been around in my little friend group for a long time. There's a joke to it, and I don't remember the joke. I just remember the laugh was hue, hue, hue. Okay. They go this way. Go this way. Let's put them on one of these because it's pretty dark. I'm going to put them at the bottom. Okay, and don't forget we also have to decorate the backs, but I know what I'm going to do back there. It's on most of them. Let's see what other stickers we got here in the Smithsonian tell me that this is not some sort of seal drawn from the perspective of somebody who's never seen one, right? But what's more medieval than these? Really? More Gothic. You can't get more Gothic than a Kraken on a ship. You just can't get more Gothic than that. So we're going to cover this whole sticker. I'm not even going to ink it. I'm just going to cover that whole card so that it's got a little border there on the edges. Isn't that pretty? Now it sticks over just a little bit. I'm going to cut that off. But you don't get more Gothic than a Kraken on a ship. Other than that poorly drawn animal. Poor beast. Okay. Our next sticker appears to have left me because I accidentally opened it to the wrong page. Where'd it go? Oh, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? It was after that. There it is. These are some lovely little Gothic pieces. And I think we're gonna go a little more guy themed on this one, I think. I'm gonna put this pocket watch on here. Up here. No ink on that one either. Now, our next sticker. We have these Gothic letters, and I may come back to those. So, let's see what our last sticker was. Oh, yes. More Gothic animals. From people who have never seen an animal in their life. Look at that. These people have never seen an animal in their life. Let's go with this one. I'm gonna do this, and we're gonna give it the royal treatment here. But just tinging the edges. Got something in my eye. I don't know why. Got my 3D printer up and running. Sort of. Like it was printing really well and then it didn't. So I washed the build plate and leveled it all out, and hopefully it's printing over there and not just shooting out a string of spaghetti. Realize not everybody knows what I'm talking about, and I'll show you what a string of spaghetti from a 3D printer is, if you'll give me a minute. Where am I gonna put this? One of these. Put him about here. Okay, we're out of stickers then. Let's look and see what else we've got. What's next in the line of things to put on things? Excuse you. Fuzzy cuts. We definitely have some fuzzy cuts. Let's see what we can get away with. Not the lips. No. We can put this spider on one, maybe. There's a book, perhaps. There's a clock, but I've already got that pocket watch, so I don't want to do that. There's a raven, a pumpkin, some butterfly, some crystals, potions. I think I'm gonna go with the spider. So we're going to take these and set them off to the side. And yes, I know our little tree is not very filled out, but that's okay. You'll see why when I get to that, because I had an idea. Add in some more purple. Okay. Now, let me grab my circles. Get off of there. Stupid bludgeoner. Bludgeoner. Blubbening. I don't know. I'm just all over the place with words today, I guess. Okay. Now, these big ones, not gonna... But no. No, we're not using the big ones. And not the medium big ones. Okay. Some of these smaller ones, though. Because the thought that so eloquently hurt my brain, which is a running joke in my family. Maybe yours too, I don't know. Is to take some of these circles oh, that one lines up perfectly, look at that, and put them on the branches of the tree as though they're growing out of the tree. I don't know if that works for anybody else. I guess I'll find out when I post this. But yeah, look. See, and then it kind of looks like they're growing out of the tree. Yeah, I like that. Now, I gotta do something for some of those. This one I think is gonna be done. I'll just have to do something with the back. I like the way that is. It's good. The rest of these need some work. This, probably good to go. So, we have some circles that we can add in at will here. Which one's will? You know, that old joke. Fire at will. Which one's will? No? Okay. Just me. So, how's everybody's week been going? Doing well, I hope. Getting ready for June-tober in a couple of weeks. Not as many weeks as I thought. I just looked at the calendar. It's one of my favorite holidays is June-tober. Like October, Halloween is my absolute favorite, of course, because of course it is. But June-tober has to be right on up there. I want to say it's probably my third favorite holiday. And I say it's my third favorite because I consider my anniversary to be a holiday. And she knew when she married me that that was always going to be my second favorite holiday and not my first. But it's okay because Halloween's also her first favorite holiday. I'm going to go with dream right here on that. Look at that. You can dream that those can come from a tree. You know you can. Not putting any of those on that. I don't like those. Not for these. I mean, I like them, just not for these. I need something, though. Excuse me while I reach for my little teeny tote of labels. I bought a bunch of these little teeny totes for various bits and bobs. Those are dies, and I think this one is dies too. This one is labels. And when I say labels, I don't mean, I mean labels. Journal labels from all kinds of creators. I pulled them out to show off, and that was a mistake because most of them were just going to go right back in. Let's see. No. Let's take this one over there. Age that one up a little. Put you there. You there. And that's all she wrote, so we're just gonna gently gather this all up. And yes, those look like circles, but they're labels. Okay, we're just gonna gently gather that all up. And then we'll ink up and glue down. Just trying to halfway keep it sane on my desk here. Okay, ink. I want to age these. I don't want to necessarily paint them purple. So I'm going to grab antique linen and vintage photo. Because how could you not do vintage photo? But where it is. Okay. First, I want to take this, and I'm just going to cut the white off of this one, rather than try to ink it. What are you going to keep this one out for? I don't know, but it's out, so we're going to use it. Okay, throw your little scraps away. Always have a little trash can on or next to your desk. Always. Uh-oh. Y'all see that? Good thing I got more of those. That tore apart real quick. Start with antique linen. And see what it looks like on this one. Maybe. Fingers don't want to work with it. Okay. I like that, but let's do some vintage photo kind of around the edges. Not like a whole lot. Let's just do whatever's left on the vintage photo pad. Nothing? Nothing's left on the vintage photo pad. Duh. So we'll just tap it. And just kind of ease it on there. Oh, yes, I like that. Tap it off. Just kind of ease it on. Kind of a little circular blending motion here. I like that. That turned out nice. I'm happy with it. This one, though, I cannot pick up anything today. This one we're just going to cheat on and see what it looks like. Oh, now I have another idea. Did I say that too loud? I'm getting all ideas today. I don't know if that means my little muse is back or I'm just really ready for an idea. antique it up a little bit, bludge out some of those dirt spots. But yeah, I like that. What happens if we do the antique linen? And then blotch it into the vintage photo. Okay, okay. What happens if we bludge it onto the antique linen? Okay. Okay. Look at that. Two different colors of dirt. I like that. How do we feel? That's how we feel. Alright, put the lids on. Put the lids on, because we're going to glue this down. We're going to move on to glue. Just because. We're going to put our dream tree over the glue stick. And this is going to get you fully glued to yourself, no matter what you do, because this is the only way I know of to make sure that every inch of this has some glue. Now you're going to want to take your glue paper here and smudge it down like that. Already glued to myself. Yay! Okay. Done with that. And then I'm going to take my regular glue because I'm trying to run out of it. And take these spots. Okay, there we go. Run a little ring around it. Put it on the corner. This one. Run a little ring around it. Line it up because I like how it lines up. Put it on. Put a little ring around it. And put it on. Put a little ring around it. And yes, I'm going to say that for everything now. Put a little ring around it. And just drop it in the bottom there. Okay, we got that. Are you not? Oh, you are. Okay. We're going to take this. We're going to take that. And what are we going to do? Turn the volume on the computer down. Because I forgot to do that part. Let's glue. And I want this to go in the corner, but I want it to tilt. Just like that. And I'm going to put this right in between the two. Like so. Okay. Put the circle down. What are you doing, brain? That part doesn't go down yet, and that's why we use a glue sheet. So we don't glue things to the desk. So, today's the 20th, by the way, when I'm filming this. Which means tomorrow will be the 21st. Yeah, I don't know. It just felt like saying that. This weekend, it'll be the 24th on Sunday. And on the 24th, a friend of mine at Michael's is hosting a junk journal class. So, the wife and I are going to go to the junk journal class. We're going to bring our notebooks to take notes and our thinking caps so we can think of questions to ask. And we're going to ask a lot of "are you sure?" questions, because why not? And the fun part is she'll know all about this because she watches my YouTubes. So, if you're not Billy, help me think of fun questions to ask somebody who's teaching a junk journal class. Not anything mean, not just some gentle ribbing style. You know, not anything that's going to disrupt too bad. And it's at Michael's, so it's a public setting, and there may or may not be kids there. I don't know. If they let me, I might take a video for y'all. If they don't let me, I might also take a video for y'all. No, I'm just kidding. Like I said, I don't want to be mean. I just want to pick on her because kind of how I am. But I don't want to be like super harsh, because sometimes I can go too far with my picking. And I don't know, without a handler, I can get a little... That's why the wife is going with me, because without a handler, I can get a little out of pocket. Not on purpose, I just don't always realize I'm doing it. The perks of autism, I suppose. Okay, we got those all done. Now we got to do the backs. And for the backs, I have something special. Somewhat coffee dyed paper. And I say somewhat coffee dyed because when I coffee dyed these last set of papers, I would soak a piece, put it down on my sheet, and then put a blank piece of paper on it, blank white piece of paper, and then put my next coffee dyed paper on it. So these are the blank white pieces. And some of them I saved back so that I can soak those for coffee dyed, because what I noticed with some of my papers is some of the stuff that's already been a little coffee dyed gets a little darker coffee dyed and leaves some really cool patterns. Sometimes. Not always. But some of these are going to get saved back for that. But the others are going to be used for things like this. A little big. That'll do. And then that way there's something to write on the back, so you can journal on the back. So there's that one. A little wide still. A little skinny at some point. So it's alright. They don't have to be perfectly sized. Which is part of... Sorry, I didn't mean to bump the camera. It's part of the joy of it is that they don't have to be perfectly sized. Because you get all kinds of weird shapes and patterns to put on the backs of your cards. You can try to keep them in line. You can use rulers in your hands or, whatever. But you don't have to. It's the fun of it. It's a little long still. Also a little wide still. Okay. Yeah, that'll work. Just tear down this edge. And this edge. Well, I still gotta tear one. Looks like. Because I don't have any of these big enough. Alright, fine. There. Now those can go back in the pile. Those can go over there. These are all scraps. They'll go in the scrap heap. Do something with your scraps. Don't be like me. Do something with your scraps. I may take July off from my design team work and just focus on scraps for July. We're going to use the tape for this because I want to. Just remember the tops of these are going to be glued down. So you don't have to be super perfect, especially at the top. I love doing these. I don't know why I don't do them more often. Okay, well, it's in my hand. I am not always the smartest block of cheese in the drawer. I just went looking for that piece of paper because I couldn't find it. And it was on my finger, y'all. On my finger. There's been days when I've been playing games and I'm still looking for my phone. That I'm playing games on while I'm looking for my phone. I don't know what's doing it. Medicine, age, my phone. All I know is I seem to be getting dumber in some respects when it comes to remembering where I sat things. I guess we all do eventually. Well, we're not thinking about that today. Back to our piece of paper. Okay, we're all glued down. Alright. Now we just gotta glue these down. Now, you gotta figure out what you want to be the top. Obviously. And what you want to be on the bottom. Also obvious. So, we're gonna go to this first line. Alright? I hope I'm doing this correctly. I know I'm doing that part correctly, but you know what I mean. Okay, so we're going to glue right under that line. Do not go all the way to the edges. Do not put this all the way to the line, or you will absolutely regret it. Also, do not glue it upside down. force it down. Undo that, because you know you're going to want to undo that. Because this one, it's going to stay put, and I don't know why I put paper on it, but here we are. I did it. It's alright. Yep. Okay. Here's the top. You're next. So we go over here, and again, we put glue here, under the line, and above the line, and in the middle, but not all the way to the edges. Make sure it's right side up. Make sure it's not on the line. Not touching the line at all. Now let me show you kind of what happens when you pull. You ready? This will happen with all your cards individually. See? And that's why you don't want to go all the way to the line. Because if you go all the way to the line, you're going to have a bad time. Okay. So we got that one. We need one of these. He can't be on top. But he has to be. I'll make it work. We go under the line, above the line, and in between the edges. Glue it down. Line it up on the bottom here. Not touching the line. Okay. Above the line, under the line, above the line, and not to the edges. Line her up. Don't touch the line. And yes, I know these will be the same color going next to each other, but he has to go on top. I don't care. It'll be a strange quirk of the book. Under the line, over the line. Don't touch the edges. And don't touch the line. Line it up. Don't touch that line. Yes. Okay. Under the line, over. Get the glue out. Under the line, over the line. Don't touch the edges. Oh my gosh. Careful, careful. Now. Right here. And this way too. Kind of blends in so you don't see the line. Just looks like part of the card. See, that's fancy, right? And you have your cards. And when you grab this, which we'll put a little pull on, you're going to grab it. You're going to hold the page a little. And it does it all on its own. Now, in order to put something on the bottom of this, I'm going to pull these down. Okay, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to grab one of these. Not the big ones. Let's go with this one. And I'm going to put it about half on and half off. There. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shake my glue down again, go roughly here, glue it all good, and then line her up, put that there, glue it down real good. And I am not going to have time to do the second type of thing, but see, you have this little piece sticking out right here, and you want to know what it looks like. Oh, it turns the pages. I see. How fancy. See, it's interactive, and it's a secret interactive, kind of, sort of. You get the point. So there's our waterfall. And then when I get ready to put it on the page, I just glue this down, just like that, and it'll be ready to go. Hope you enjoyed. I won't put any dimensions on at the bottom because this was all off the top of my head. I might put dimensions on everything. Check the description. I'll try to leave measurements for everything. Now, if you'll give me just a second, I'll show you what a 3D printed spaghetti looks like. And it's a failure, is what it is. When you go to print, it doesn't stick. It just shoots out plastic in the shape of spaghetti. This was supposed to be a pill popper, as you can see here, that is for those blister pack pills. You put them with the paper side in the hole right there, and you put the pill up top, and it just pushes the pill down into the hole. But this is what I got instead. So we're working that out. So yeah, join me next week. We will create another page for the Purple Journal, and that will be our last video before Junetober begins. Yeah. Okay, that was a stupid laugh. But anyway, I'm so glad y'all came to see me. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.